The water at Crater Lake is some of the purest in the entire world. That fact by itself I always find absolutely fascinating. That we can have water here that shows virtually no pollutants, no contaminants in it at all. It's pure water.
The collapse of Mount Mazama created a geological oddity. The trapped water is protected inside the caldera. No streams or rivers flow into Crater Lake. None flow out. The lake level is maintained by a delicate balance of precipitation, evaporation, and seepage through the caldera walls.
The lake has a very small watershed. It consists of the lake itself and the steep caldera walls. So there's no larger watershed to feed rivers and streams that could bring nutrients and particles and other pollutants into the lake.
One way to appreciate the purity of Crater Lake is to drop below the surface, into the deep and into the blue. At its deepest point, Crater Lake is 1,943 feet deep.
It's the deepest lake in the United States. Lake penetrates unusually deep into the water because of its purity, and because of that, all our plants and animals are found at great depths into the lake.
One of the most unusual life forms in the lake is the thick green moss.
Wow.
It grows in an almost continuous ring around the caldera.
The moss grows from depths of about 100 feet to 450 feet in depth. Again, an unusual testament to Crater Lake's clarity.
To measure the lake's astounding clarity, scientists use a simple device, the Secchi disc. It's nothing more than a plastic disc on a cable. The black and white pattern makes the disc easier for researchers to monitor.
It's a fairly crude and simple instrument. It's been used worldwide and here at Crater Lake for over 100 years. And it gives a scientist a quick indication of the general nature of a lake.
Once the Secchi disc vanishes from view, the depth is recorded. This day's visibility was about 100 feet.
Wow.
Impressive, but nowhere close to the record.
Okay, coming up.
In 1997, Crater Lake set the world record for water clarity with a Secchi disc reading of 143 feet. The clarity makes possible what many consider to be Crater Lake's most brilliant feature, its color.
Imagine blue, and then, take that up a few notches. It's bluer than blue.
The depth of the caldera and the depth of the lake allows the sun to shine through, the light to shine through, and create that beautiful blue color like nothing anywhere else on the face of the earth.
To ensure it remains Crater Lake blue, park scientists use the lake as a living laboratory. Every summer, they take the pulse of Crater Lake.
All right, going down.
Crater Lake is pristine such that it is a great barometer for lakes around the world. It only takes a little bit of change in the particles in the water to where the lake wouldn't be quite as blue and it wouldn't be as clear. Because of that, it's really important for us to study Crater Lake and to monitor it so that we can tell if it's changing and protect it forever.
Protecting it forever means preserving the lands that surround Crater Lake, the other side of the caldera. Every summer, snowmelt that doesn't spill into the lake feeds the park's rivers and streams.
These are the headwaters that feed the rivers that serve the communities of southern Oregon.
The Umpqua, Klamath, and the wild and scenic Rogue River all have beginnings in Crater Lake National Park. The waters carve through high mountain valleys, supporting and sustaining an amazing diversity of subalpine habitats. In Mountain Meadows, the snowmelt triggers a brief but colorful explosion of wildflowers. In most years, summer doesn't reach its full glory until late July or early August.
They have an incredibly short amount of time to grow, bloom, go to seed, and pass things on to the next generation.
The snowmelt also sustains the old-growth forests. These trees, protected within the national park, have been untouched by logging and other human development. They are some of the last protected old-growth forests left in the Pacific Northwest.
And so when we look at this landscape today and we see these rich soils and these lush stands of vegetation, to me it's remarkable to think that just thousands of years ago that this would have been a moonscape.
Crater Lake is more than the story of nature healing itself. It is also the story of a place with the power to renew the human spirit. The first time Euro-Americans saw the lake was in 1853. John Wesley Hillman was with a group of gold prospectors when he stumbled upon what they would call Deep Blue Lake.